Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. Joining us for this segment, we have Lev Peker, CEO of Nasdaq-listed CarParts.com, to discuss the right to repair movement. Lev, it's great to see you again. Welcome back to Trade Talks.
Thank you for having me.
Tell us what the right to repair movement is and what the Biden administration is doing about it.
So basically, we believe that all customers have a right to their data, and they should have a right to choose where the repair gets done. A lot of parts today have design patents that restrict where the customer can do the repair only to the dealer. And on top of that, a lot of times the dealer has to program certain parts. And so we believe that customers should get a right to choose because it's simply cheaper for them sometimes to do the repair themselves. And a lot of parts are very simple to replace for the customer on their own. So the right to repair is simply a way for us to get the customer to own the data that they have in their vehicle.
So I would imagine in the EV space, there are a lot of challenges associated with that.
Correct. So in the EV space, and not even in the EV space, even in the traditional engine vehicles, the manufacturer, the OE, is the one that owns all the data. But in reality, you're the customer, you bought the vehicle, you're the one driving it. So you're the one that, should have rights to the data inside your vehicle.
And do you think the Biden's infrastructure bill will affect the aftermarket industry?
I think the infrastructure bill will affect the adoption of electric vehicles to some extent because there are some subsidies there in order to drive the infrastructure for charging of the electric vehicles. But overall, it's not really going to have an impact on the right to repair, which is why we belong to the car coalition with some of the larger companies like LKQ and Allstate, where we believe that the customer should have the right to choose where they do the repair.
Well, we spoke about this early in 2021 and how the pandemic accelerated trends and changed consumers' behavior with turning to more do-it-yourself repairs. Are you still seeing that trend, and do you expect it to continue?
Absolutely. So not only did the pandemic accelerate the trend to more do-it-yourself, where the consumers had some free time on their hands and they learned how to do the repair themselves, but the pandemic also accelerated the shift from offline to online, which has been great for most online companies. And once the customers discover the convenience of shopping online and buying parts online and how much money they can save by doing the repair themselves, it's very hard for them to go back.
Right. Now, speaking of parts, what's your outlook for automotive aftermarket in the months ahead? Because we really have to deal with the supply chain constraints.
Yeah. So we've been very lucky. We're vertically integrated. We're on a two-step supply chain where we source from the same factories as other brands, and then we bring it into our distribution centers, and then we send it directly to the consumers. And we've been very good about importing product. We have more inventory than we've ever had. We did have to bring in more safety stock. And so we're loaded up and ready to go. And we're ready to meet the demand of the consumers.
All right. Lev, great to see you as always. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.
Thank you so much.